Hello, thank you for joining us yet again here at the Dark Side on this lovely Wednesday evening. I am Paul. This is Eric. We've got a handful of new releases this week to go through, and then a whole bunch of good old stuff. Good old stuff. It wasn't a big new release week, but there was some big titles that came out this week, and some small stuff that I really liked. So let's get started. Eric, shall we?
Yes.
Carnage, Red, White, and whatever.
Adam says about.
Hi, Adam.
For 4 years, I've called him Sejdabat.
Anyways.
Every time
Carnage.
I process the comics.
So first up, we have Carnage, Black, White, and Blood.
We've got the regular cover here. We've got the awesome Gleason variant, who also did that really amazing Spider-Man variant a couple months ago. He's doing a whole series of it. He's calling them Webhead.
Yeah,
designs.
I really enjoyed this one. So this issue I really enjoyed. The first story was Teenie Howard doing sort of a Carnage love story, which was not what I expected. It also had Cloak and Dagger in it, which was a pleasant surprise.
It's always nice when they show up.
Yeah, it's weird. Like whenever they have their own books, I tend not to really like them, but I'm always really happy when they show up in other people's books. The second story was a Ben Percy Wild West story that this one wasn't my favorite, but it was still enjoyable. However, the real star of the show, to the surprise of probably not a lot of people who've been reading his work lately, Al Ewing's story, You Are Carnage. This is a choose-your-own-adventure role-playing story. It is the first comic I have ever read where I needed a D6 to read the comic. It's really cool.
Yeah, I glanced through it. It is really, like, the idea is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure, except you don't really get to choose. But it's fun.
There's some
You
amount
have to
of
keep
choice.
rolling until you hit each
Yeah,
combination.
there's some amount of choice, but there's not really a lot. I thought it was cool. He also did something similar to this with Deadpool a couple years ago. And he did a Judge Dredd Choose Your Own Adventure like, way back earlier in his career. And I really love this story. I think it is one of the coolest comics I've read in a bit, and it was fun.
That's awesome. I think they're doing 6 of these.
I think it's 4, but I
4?
could be
Okay.
mistaken.
Maybe it's the Batman that they're doing 6 of. All right. Haha, number 3. This one, instead of a clown, it's a mime.
Ooh.
And this was probably the funnest of the 3 so far, even though it does, it is dark, but it's still this lonely mime who can't get any money. What do they call it? Busking.
Yeah.
Finds a thrown out robot in a junk pile and uses it as his mime partner. And it's really like, there are definitely like cute parts in it where it's just like, oh, that's cute. And then like it gets dark.
Is it a silent issue?
Yeah, I don't think there's a single word bubble in it. Yeah. It's really good. It was fun. So that series, there's going to be 6 issues of, it continues every issue just to be interesting and unique.
Glad you're enjoying it. Does not sound like my cup of tea, but I'm glad that you found something you like.
He doesn't like robots miming.
Oh, I just don't like clowns.
Yeah. Mimes are not clowns.
No, but the series in general, I mean.
We have plenty of copies of that Carnage, right? The variant.
Yeah, the Gleason.
Yeah, we have Adam and Jamie would both like to get.
Okay.
So
yeah,
we'll get that. We'll get that taken care of for you guys.
Next up, we've got the second printing of Stray Dogs #1. Sold out of the first printing.
Yes.
Very enjoyable. I liked it a lot. I didn't read this week's issue, but Eric did.
Yeah, so I had not read issue 1 before last night. I read the second printing, and this is a really cool story. Cool is maybe not the right word. Good. It's not a happy story so far, but I really like it because it reminds me a lot of Beasts of Burden, which I really enjoy. It's sort of Beasts of Burden, but with a more like crime comic lean to
Murder
it.
mystery.
Yeah, instead of the more supernatural elements, and I think it works really well.
With a forgetful dog.
Yeah. I think the art is like kind of cutesy in places, and that helps like sort of create a tonal dissonance, which is I think what this is going for.
Yeah, I mean, like reading that first issue, like the artwork is straight up like all dogs go to heaven type
Yeah.
artwork.
Yeah,
and then
it reminds me of Disney just on the cover there. So.
Yeah, for a second I was like, wait, based this art looks like it's for a kid's comic, but based on what I know about this doesn't sound like a kid's
Yes.
comic.
Yeah, issue 1 had a variant cover which sold out very quickly. That was a Silence of the Lambs cover. This issue had a variant that was a Pet Cemetery cover,
Oh,
and
that's
that
good.
also sold out like almost immediately. So, sounds like it's continually being good. On to Harley Quinn, number 1.
Yeah. So I thought this one was kind of fun. It deals with a lot of the aftermath of the Joker War and sort of the way various people who were clowns during all of that have to live now. And it introduced a former clown who was sort of Harley Quinn's new sidekick. And I thought it was a fun issue. I think.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, like, he could be a fun addition to her story.
I agree. And I sort of like how it did a good job of showing like Harley's perception versus the reality, specifically with how Batman views her.
Yeah.
I thought the writing and the art did a really good job with that.
Who's the writer on this series?
Stephanie Phillips?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good. I don't read a lot of Harley Quinn, not because I don't like the character, but because that sort of style of comic isn't always what I like. But I thought this was an entertaining and enjoyable issue, and it went by fast in a good way.
Yeah, the artwork's really good too. I forget who did the art, but
yeah,
it's very stylized.
I really like the way Batman in particular is drawn here. He looks a lot more. He looks a little more inhuman in this than
right.
Normal.
He's a shape.
Yeah, and I felt that really worked.
Yeah, it was good. It's I see people liking this series.
As well they should.
Anthony's awake.
That's
Yay.
good. Good job, Anthony. Next up is neither of us got a chance to read this. This is the new Teen Titans Academy number 1. We sold out of the regular cover. We happen to have a couple of these. What's his name? Red X.
Yeah, Red X.
Very original character.
Yeah, this is the character originally from the Teen Titans cartoon.
Well, just the design has been done like 4
Yeah.
or 5 times over the past 20 years.
Definitely.
So, good job. Again, neither of us got a chance to read it. I personally don't really read Teen Titans books, and Eric just didn't get to.
Yeah, I haven't in a while. I haven't really been interested since Dan Abnett's Titans a couple of years ago changed directions. Just been burned too many times.
But since we sold out of the regular cover, we had a couple of these left. We figured you guys might be interested.
Yeah, and it's a new number 1, and a lot of people seem to be interested in the book. So I know a lot of our subscribers had them.
Speaking of new number 1s, best new number 1 of the week,
Yes.
which we have 4 covers of right down here on the bottom, Alien.
Oh yeah.
Alien has finally joined the Marvel family, and I'm so excited.
I really enjoyed this. I wasn't sure if I was going to, but I did.
Yeah.
We are now sold out of these.
Oh no.
I liked the psychological elements to this.
Yeah.
With the main character and his sort of reactions and understanding.
I'd say it's on par, if not better, than even the best of the Dark Horse Alien books, just from this first issue, because the aliens have hardly been at it. Like, they've been in a dream sequence and like they're kind of teased at the end. But it's definitely, a character piece, like any of the good Alien movies. It's about the characters. It's just really good. And then we've got excellent, just the A cover is amazing. Like if this was a poster when I was a kid, it'd be on my wall. And we've got, which one is this? This is the Ron Lim variant. Just gorgeous. I can't reach while sitting. My personal favorite of them, Artist of the Year, Peach Momoko.
Yeah, this cover was really cool.
Just that wonderfully symmetric. It took me like 5 minutes to realize that was one of the eggs at the bottom. I just thought it was, stylized. And then lastly, we've got the David Finch variant, which is really nice. I think we only got 2 of this cover. Surprised we still have one left. Right. So yeah, this is off to a great start. I'm very excited to see where it goes. I'm just very excited about it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm personally, because I've only seen the first movie, not as used to sort of the more human elements of this world. So it was interesting to see what more of that looked like.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah, it was a good read, and it's interesting because this is the guy who's writing Superman over at an Action Comics at DC, because DC doesn't do exclusivity deals anymore. And it's so weird, like the tonal shift in the works from seeing the person currently writing Superman in Action Comics doing this.
What are
Is
you
there
looking
a
for?
Finch variant? Oh,
Yeah, Finch.
Finch.
Next up is another. We got two more number ones, and they're both right up my alley. This bottom shelf is all horror books. Cold Dead War. This is written by George A. Romero's son, George C. Romero, and it's a World War II Korean War horror story, and it's published by Heavy Metal, company that makes the Heavy Metal magazine, obviously. And it's like it's one of their stories. I'm so glad that they put it in a comic book, but if it was in one of the Heavy Metal magazines, like it would fit in perfectly. It's just fantastic. It really reminds me of in the first Heavy Metal movie, like the whole war sequence with the planes. Like that's like the opening sequence of this book, and it's really cool. Really cool, and it's being from Romero's son, I was expecting a particular type of zombie, and it is a different kind of zombie, and I was very excited about that.
That's neat.
Yes. Not that I mean, I love Romero zombies, but these are not traditional Romero zombies.
Good to know.
And then the next one is straight up just called Vietnam Horror.
Can I interrupt for just one second?
Sure.
So this is the
Momoko.
one with the egg that I think
Yeah.
that Tiffany is talking about.
Yes.
Do we have more of these, or are these?
There were a few on the wall when I grabbed that earlier. You were up there more recently.
I'll go take a look. I was just checking.
Okay. We may, because we started off with 10, and there was still, I think, a few last time I checked. Vietnam Horror is, if you like, well, there's not a lot of horror in this so far. So far, it's all psychological, but the horror is definitely showing up towards the end, and it's incredibly well written. It's a black and white book. It reminds me of, like, if you're watching Full Metal Jacket, but people are talking about their nightmares and stuff instead of the other stuff they talk about in Full Metal Jacket, which I won't go into.
Fair. I don't know much about it, but I do know that
You won't like it.
Yeah, so I've heard.
It's not your movie. So if you enjoy war books, if you enjoy horror books, Vietnam Horror is really, really good. The artwork is awesome. All right. I think that's going to do it, unless we've got more alien questions or...
No, I'm going to go check and make sure I can get the Momoko cover for both Tiffany and Adam. And then Anthony wants one of each cover, so I'm going to take care of that too.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right. So let's move on.
I think he might have a bunch in his file, maybe? Or maybe he just had one.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what he...
I vaguely remember pulling some amount of Alien for him yesterday.
Okay, I'll check his one.
Yeah, check his box. Because there's 3 people that I pulled every cover for.
Okay, I'll go check it.
One of them being Danielle. If you're watching, Danielle, I got your covers. All right, let's go all the way down there, and let's celebrate all these new number ones with a bunch of old number ones.
Ooh, sweet.
Shall we? We'll start off with 1990 Guardians of the Galaxy number 1.
Yeah, this is
All of the exciting things about this is the first appearance of Taserface.
which is honestly very good.
Everybody's favorite character from the movies.
I really enjoyed Taserface in the movie. Yeah, that's the Momoko one.
This is in excellent shape. Like that's easily a mid-9 for $30. I came across a bunch of gorgeous books today.
Yeah, that one like made me smile when I saw it up here earlier because Taserface is great.
All right, we've got a giant-size special of Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, her first series, issue number 1. I got that graded at 8.5 for $20.
Always makes me sad when like Marvel doesn't know what to do with her because I think Monica's a really good character, but it sometimes feels like they just
Well, now that she's, you know, in the live action, like
Yeah.
she's going to start showing up in the comics and
definitely.
have better story arcs and be in better stories. Next up, Spectacular Spider-Man number 1, featuring an updated origin for Tarantula.
I'm not familiar with Tarantula. Is
Nobody
he
is.
is he like a Silver Age character or?
He is.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Not a great character.
They can't all be winners.
That's at an 8 for $50. Up next, everybody's favorite Space Knight.
Yeah.
Got ROM number 1 and a fabulous first issue.
Yeah, as I've said, one of the not the but one of the greatest tie-in comics of all time.
I mean, that is such a toy design, isn't it? So, all right. Got that at an 8 for $35. This one I was very excited about because I ignored that the TV show existed. So my love of the Inhumans comes from the Paul Jenkins, Jay Lee series, which was amazing. So this makes me happy that I found this in such amazing condition. I got this at a 9 because it is gorgeous. Number 1, Inhumans number 1 for $90. Everyone's favorite Taylor Swift cameo. Dazzler number 1, again in excellent condition. This is the nicest Dazzler I've seen out of all the Dazzler.
Are you calling Amara the Enchantress Taylor Swift?
What?
Who-
Taylor Swift was supposed to be Dazzler in one of the X-Men.
Oh, I did not know about
I
that.
think they even filmed it, but it got cut.
Yeah, because when Dazzler did show up, it was somebody else.
Anthony's going to take that Spectacular Spider-Man.
There we go. Thank you. Should have a stack of stuff I can pull from.
Thank you, Anthony, Tiffany, and Adam.
It's gonna throw off my. Oh, I should have some number 1s. It's not a number 1, but how about an issue -1? What? Deadpool -1. This came out in I think 6 or 7 issues into his first ongoing series, and it's rehashing his origin story. It's also narrated by Stan Lee.
Really?
Yeah,
It looks like it was drawn by Steranko. The cover is a Steranko.
Some of the flashback issues are really
it's
interesting.
definitely an homage because you see Morris's name right here, just like that's definitely an homage. I've got that at an 8.5 for $15. So yeah, this came out in '97. Like I said, 6 or 7 issues into his first ongoing series. Maybe a couple of weeks late on this, but we finally found one. Scarlet Witch number 1. Got that at a 9 for $15.
That whole series had amazing covers.
Yeah.
Like all of the covers were just fantastic.
There's something to be said about monochromatic minimalism.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't forget to watch Jessica Jones on Netflix.
What does that have to do with it?
What has the ad on there?
Oh,
Because this came around. This came out like around that time.
$15.
thought that was just like a random non-secretary.
Since we got Vietnam horror today, we're just going to hit up the Nam. Number 1. I think it was 1986. Riding the waves of G.I. Joe. So if you like your war books, this is probably one of the more renowned recent ones. Like, not recent, but modern books from.
It was actually a really good series, and then it started going downhill. Like they had a couple of issues with the Punisher in it.
Yeah.
Weird.
The origin of the Punisher as like a sniper or something like that.
Was that in the Nam, or was
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
You're not thinking of Garth Ennis's origin book?
No, this was he was. They had some Punisher issues in there. No.
All right. The New Teen Titans number 1, Eric's favorite book.
It's up there. New Teen Titans is a good one.
I've got this graded at a 7.5 only because on the back cover right about here there's a weird, like, it's not water damage, it's not a rip or a tear, but there's something weird going on with the paper. Other than that, it's in excellent shape.
And it's a collector's issue. It says so on the cover.
Yeah. Like, if that thing on the back cover can get, like, pressed out, this would easily be a high 8, if not a 9. Then, right next door, we've got another New Teen Titans number 1. This is the second volume of the New Teen Titans from 1984. I think I like the artwork on this one better.
I like Raven in the background.
I mean, I'm like the one person who enjoys Nightwing's disco costume, so I really like this cover.
I don't think you are. I think most people do. They're just ashamed to say it.
That's fair.
That's what I would wear if I were a superhero.
Fair enough.
All right.
That's a 9. 15
I'll
bucks.
pick this cosplay. I'm the KG Beast.
Ooh.
All is Disco Nightwing.
Catwoman number 1, her first ongoing series. That is a 9 for 10 bucks. This is an embossed cover in case you felt like rubbing your hands over a comic book character. That makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Part of it is embossed. Is it just
Yes.
the rip?
It's her entire body.
Oh, I
I
don't.
mean, what's nice is like her hair is embossed, so there's like,
Yeah.
but like, yeah.
I don't
That's
like
only
that.
one reason for that.
Yeah, that's not good.
But hey, it's a breakout book for that era. Written by Joe Duffy, art by Jim Belenz, which he made a whole career off of drawing her. Shade the Changing Man number 1. Some vintage 70s Kirby at DC Kirby.
Yeah.
Got
That character went through a lot of
changes.
yes.
Yeah, most of my experience with Shade comes from the Justice League Dark New 52 series that he was in for a while.
I like the Peter Milligan series.
Got that graded at an 8 for 30 bucks. Good price for a number 1 Kirby.
It's electrifying.
All right. Anybody have any questions about this batch of number 1s? Glare off.
Nice.
All right. Well, I hope you guys are fans of Frank Miller and Daredevil.
Frank Miller. He was on Daredevil? Just kidding.
All right, Eric, you are up.
Yep. Alrighty. So first up, we have Daredevil number 165, the first Miller co-plot. I have this at a 7 for $15. This is not the start of Miller's run on the book, but this is the start of where he starts helping with the writing duties before he fully takes them over. And this is like a cool. I love these sort of motion covers with Daredevil and any superhero.
Yeah.
But Doctor Octopus in particular here is like a cool foil for Daredevil that I never would have thought of.
Mm-hmm.
So I dig it. Alrighty. Next up we have Daredevil number 166, which is the second Frank Miller co-plot. We have this one at an 8 for $20. I'm not familiar with that villain on the cover.
Is that Gladiator?
That makes sense. He does have the net and the trident.
I don't think I've ever read anything with Gladiator. I just know him from trading cards.
Gotcha. Another solid cover. Oh yeah, because he's in like an arena. That makes more sense. Next up, we have number 167. This is plotted by Micheline. There's a question mark on here.
That's because I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, okay. But this is still Miller art. We have this for 20, and it's an 8. I really like this cover. With sort of the like computerized targeting,
Yeah,
laser armed.
Looks like Terminator Vision.
Yeah, definitely. And collector's bonus, Dee Dee's Dark Secrets.
Dark Secrets. I think that's his where they go through like his weapons. They tell you how they work.
Huh, interesting.
Like a little bonus few pages.
Alright. So we don't have the first Electro here tonight, but we do have the second Electro in Daredevil 169 at a 7.5 for $30. Also has Bullseye. His name is Bullseye, and he'll keep killing them till they're all dead. Is this the first Bullseye?
No.
Okay. I was just
The
asking.
first bullseye was like 131, I think.
That makes more sense. I was mostly asking because that's the kind of
They're giving his his character plot. He's motivated. He wants to kill all of them.
Buy this comic,
and he won't stop.
Bullseye will kill everything.
It's good to have motivation.
This next one's cool.
Yeah. Next up, we have 170, which is the first appearance of the Kingpin in Daredevil. The Kingpin must die. And also, I believe it is the first time he is called Wilson Fisk, which is cool.
Yes.
I love this cover.
Yeah, I love any cover where a normal sized person is holding the other person like an action figure.
Yes. Very King Kong like.
Yes. Don't get me excited about King Kong. Still a week away.
Oh, sorry. Next up, we have Daredevil 171. At last, monthly. 1 minute from now, DD will wish he'd stayed in hiding. So this is at a 7 for $15.
I love Kingpin's outfit.
Yeah,
It's so good.
it is very good.
You can't cosplay Kingpin because you're already doing it.
I can do both. I can do Kingpin with the big collars.
Next up, we got 172.
Talk
And
about a cover.
an 8 for 20. Yeah,
That Kingpin is amazing.
yeah. I love everything going on here. Bullseye with a sword is like very
Yeah.
unusual. Solid cover though.
Yeah.
What is the quality on Daredevil 169?
7.5. Next up, we have Daredevil 173. Daredevil goes berserk at an 8 for $20. Ooh, this is a cool one. Number 174. The first appearance of the Hand.
Yes.
At an 8 for $30.
I just thought there's something wrong with Wolverine's hands.
Yeah. See, I don't know why, but I thought the hand was older. That's kind of cool.
Well, I mean, they're hundreds and hundreds of years old.
Oh, I mean, like, I didn't realize they were a Frank Miller invention. Next up, we have Daredevil 175 at a 7 for $15. The End. Just a solid cover.
Hey Rose, if somebody is interested in rat queens, what would you suggest? Or what would you guys suggest?
More rat queens.
Yeah.
More rat queens?
Isn't Die right along those alley? That alley?
No.
No.
It would depend on what they like about it.
Lock and Key is another series that she's read that she likes. I was thinking of maybe Umbrella Academy.
I mean, if we could get Volume 1
Oh, that's true.
once it gets restocked.
All right. Lastly, for the Daredevils, we have Daredevil number 181. We have 2 copies of this one, an 8.5 for 50, and this is the death of Elektra, unfortunately.
Well,
It's regretful that they never brought her back.
I just don't like characters dying most of the time. There's some exceptions when it's a particularly good story, but it's sad.
there was a time when you killed a character and that was it. You know, like
Uncle
Captain
Ben.
Marvel, Uncle Ben.
Is he going into one of those back in my day?
Yeah,
Thanks.
Bucky should have stayed dead. You know, Superboy Prime.
I won't argue with that. All right, Eric. What else we got over there?
Lastly, on this rack, we have a 2-issue Silver Surfer miniseries. Issue 1. Issue 2.
We have sold this before, and this is in slightly better condition, and it's just a great story.
And we have these at an 8 for $25.
What's the creative team on this, Eric?
Stanley, and is that the Mobius that I'm thinking of?
That is the Mobius that you were thinking of.
Huh, wild.
Yeah. We've got that 2-part set for $25. We do also have it in trade paperback. I think it's only like $16 in trade paperback. So if you just want to read it and not in for collecting, but I mean, I just realized, not realized, but the Donny Cates's Silver Surfer Black is highly influenced by this to the point where he quotes it in Silver Surfer Black. And it was like one of those things where it's like, I know this thing and I know this thing, and then like weeks later it just kind of gels together. And it's, yeah, they're symbiotic stories. It's really cool. All right. Anybody need to see any of these Daredevils again? All right. Well, let's move on from all this excitement. All right. Eric, do you want to grab that stack and start putting them up here? Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man and Ant-Man. Issue number 103 of Marvel Team Up. This is an early Scott Lang, and it is also the second full appearance of Taskmaster.
Nice.
So if you're excited for Black Widow like I am, this is a good issue to get.
And they've just announced that they're going to actually release it, right?
Yes. It's going to be day and date on streaming as the theater, but the streaming is $30.
Yeah.
So even if you already have Disney Plus, it's a $30 rental.
Yeah, they did that with that Dragon movie. Raya.
When did they do that with Mulan?
Yeah.
I mean, if it works for them, that's cool. I'm not paying an extra $30. I'll go see it in the theater.
Yeah.
I'll wear a bunch of masks. Another Marvel Team Up, number 117, Spider-Man and Wolverine, and I really like this Wolverine font. Like this is a werewolf font.
Yeah, it's a good font.
We got that at an 8 for $15. Moving from the team up to the 2-in-1, we've got The Thing and Starhawk. This is issue number 61. This is the first appearance of her, aka Aisha, aka Paragon. Some of you may know her from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. She was the Gold Lady. And this is very clearly Adam Warlock's cocoon.
Well, it could be her.
It could be her cocoon. It probably is her cocoon now that I think about
It
it.
is. She was made for Adam.
Got that at an 8 for $12. Did you hear that the Guardians 3 is supposed to be a Christmas movie?
Like released at Christmas?
No,
Or-
like Die Hard or Lethal Weapon, like it takes place at Christmas.
I thought they were doing a special and the actual.
Last I heard was
Okay.
the movie was supposed to take place here. Maybe my source was confused and they're doing a Christmas special, which would be cool.
That would be awesome if they planned a movie to like be a Christmas movie, not without
Anyways, this is
without Santa.
a book I was really
They
excited.
just
when-
bring back Kurt Russell. He's got the experience as being Santa.
That was a great series.
I haven't watched them.
Oh,
They look like fun.
they're fun.
This is a book that I was very excited when Paul pulled out. This
We're
is
not talking about this book yet. We're still talking about Santa Claus.
okay.
Now we're talking.
All
about
right,
this.
we're ready to talk about
All right.
it.
New Mutants #1.
Yeah, New Mutants is a great series. I didn't really know what it was at first. I was just like the New Mutants. What does that mean? But now I know a lot more about it, and it's really good stuff. Got characters like Mirage, Wolfsbane, Sunspot, Cannonball, Karma. Some of the best characters I think that Marvel created at the time. Claremont's created a lot of great characters, and I think these are some of the best. And it's a great series.
Yeah, and this is in great shape. It's a 9 for $20.
Yeah, this is still when Bob McLeod was on art, so this is a little before the Sienkiewicz era, but it's still great stuff.
And this is actually the first appearance of all those characters.
No, that's the graphic
It's
novel.
not.
Oh, the graphic novel.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
This
the
is-
first issue of the ongoing.
This is technically the third appearance because they show up somewhere else in there as well.
Uncanny, I think.
And then, speaking of Sienkiewicz,
Yeah.
beautiful, gorgeous cover. New Mutants number 18. That's graded at a 9. This is the start of the Demon Bear saga.
Probably one of Claremont's best stories, though small bits of it haven't aged well. I think overall it's still very good.
Well, nothing ages perfectly.
Definitely true.
And this is the story arc that they based the movie on.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
It is indeed. Which I still haven't seen.
Me neither. I want to see it.
This is also Warlock first appearance, or
Yeah, so he shows up.
okay,
He basically appears for multiple issues as an object in space,
nice.
and his first full appearance is in issue 21 when he joins the team.
Okay, that's pretty cool. $15 for the Demon Bear. Got one more New Mutants for you tonight. This is issue 25. I forgot to write the grading on that, but that is also a 9. It is in gorgeous condition. This is the first appearance of Legion.
Oh, Legion.
Yeah.
Also a great series.
I still think I stopped somewhere in season 2. Simply
There's
because
only season 1 and 2, right? Or is it maybe season 3?
I think there's 3 seasons.
And this is such a good cover. I love the very washed out feel to it. And
Yeah. Yeah, it was like looking at I can see the monitor and if you can't tell, this is Dagger.
Yep.
But it's washed out enough from a distance, but once you get in there, it's clearly her.
And I don't know, something about the way that Ileana's drawn here is just awesome. Ileana being Magic, the girl on the cover.
All right, that is going for $30. Wonderful piece of comic. Let's go back a couple decades. Sandman #2. Not Neil Gaiman's Sandman, but Jack Kirby's Sandman.
Yeah, this is the Joe Simon, Jack Kirby. I believe this is before he got retconned to be a human when he was. I think this is when he was like supposed to be the Sandman. Just like
I think isn't this him down here with his head in a machine dreaming?
maybe I will admit that
He's the master of nightmares.
or maybe they reimagined someone else who did something like this and made him a human. I don't remember. It's been a good bit since I've read it.
What issue number is that, New Mutants? Because I think 25
Which
is
one?
actually the first appearance of Legion.
25. That's the one. That's we were just looking at.
That's the one on the
Yeah.
ending, right?
Yeah.
Right. That is at a 7 for $20.
It's not his first full appearance, Anthony. It's his first like
Cameo.
yeah.
Next up, we got another Marvel team up. Spider-Man and the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is their first team up together. It's in great shape at an 8 for $10.
Adam would like to get the Marvel team up with Wolverine and Spidey.
There we go, Adam. Did we have more books?
We have one.
Ooh. Ooh, this was exciting. We're going to replace that with Marvel Super Special Blade Runner. This is, I was astounded at how, the condition. Whenever I find a Marvel Super Special, I think I said those words right, it's always beat up because it was read through and read through. But this is, this is easily a 9. It was written by Archie Goodwin, the art by Al Williamson and Carlos Garzón, and the cover is a Steranko cover, which you cannot beat a Steranko cover.
Steranko Blade Runner. That's interesting.
Yeah, the cover is really good.
That is $60. Right. On to more team up. We got Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four with a Frank Miller cover and interior art, and the first appearance of Karma.
Yes. So most of the New Mutants first appeared in the graphic novel. Karma first shows up here, as this is written by Chris Claremont and drawn by Frank Miller.
It's interesting. I wonder if that's the first time they teamed up. Because not long after they did the Wolverine series. Or maybe they did the Wolverine series first.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the timeline on that.
Next up, we've got a bundle here. We've got 2 bundles of the same thing. Marvel Superhero Contest of Champions. All 3 issues. All 3 issues in this bundle are all 9s. They're in amazing, excellent condition. This was Marvel's first giant crossover event. All their characters. I think it's technically almost all of their characters. There's like a dozen people that aren't in it. But we've got this set, all 9s, $55.
The premise is that 2 elders of the universe, right? Is it, or is it? It's the game master and somebody
Right.
else decide to have like a game, and like
Yeah.
they use all the heroes as pawns. Yeah,
Isn't it like the Grandmaster and the Collector?
That sounds
Maybe.
right.
Yeah,
I think
Grandmaster.
they did an animated version of it on one of the cartoons.
Yeah.
This is going to be a little less. This is $35 for 2 8s and a 9. Got an 8 here. Got an 8 here. You got a 9 here. Which I think is the best cover because it's got a giant skull.
Yeah.
So if you need your Contest of Champions, which I don't believe is currently in any trade paperback format, $35 gets you a reader copy, a good quality reader copy. Lastly, on this bunch of books, we've had Batman Year 1 before. We sold Batman Year 1 before. Now we have Batman Year 2. All 4 issues. Right there, we've got the first one.
Batman's got a gun.
Stealing Eric's shtick.
Yeah. It happens.
That's issue 575. Now, the interesting thing, I don't know why it's not this first one, but the following 3 issues all have McFarlane covers, in case you couldn't tell by that tattered cape.
Spawn
576.
Yeah, any idea why it changes from Davis to McFarlane?
577. That's not something I know. If anybody else out there knows, I would certainly be interested to.
Yeah, I'm genuinely
Find out.
pretty curious.
Then we've got 578.
I think that's the Reaper in that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that is all 4 issues, all in great shape. Issues 1, 2, and 4 are all 9s, and issue 3 is an 8. $100 for all 4 of them.
I always forget that year 2 exists. 'Cause I always remember year 1, and I always remember year 100.
It'd be weird if there weren't years in between.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't year 100 with Sam Keith?
It was Paul Pope and somebody.
Oh, Paul Pope, right.
All right. If nobody has any questions about these guys, I suppose we can move on. We're moving faster than I anticipated with all the work I did today.
Sorry.
So we need to get our sponsor in the. All right. Up top, we've got Shazam number 35, which is the last of his first run at DC. It's graded a 9 at $30. It's in excellent shape.
Yeah, this is a good cover. I have to say, I do enjoy like the Shazam stuff and the Captain Marvel stuff most when you have the whole family.
Yeah, I mean, it's an excellent. It's a very busy cover. There's a lot going on.
It is a very good cover.
Yeah.
Whoa, with the Beast King.
Ooh, I'm excited for these next 2. In fact, I'm going to come around. Marvel premiere
Yeah, these are cool.
featuring the astonishing Ant-Man. This right here is a first appearance of Scott Lang
As Ant-Man.
as
Or
as
as
Ant-Man.
anybody, right?
This is the first time Paul Rudd is in comics.
And it looks like he hasn't aged.
He hasn't. Yeah. That I've got that at $100 because that is I've got it graded at a high 8. I mean, it could possibly be a 9, but it's in great shape. And then following up, we've got the second appearance of Scott Lang in Marvel premiere Ant-Man.
Yeah.
This is issue number 48. We also got this at an 8.
I'm very curious how much these
$30.
prices are driven by the movies, considering that, like,
Very much so.
yeah. Because I don't think the majority of people knew who Scott Lang, or probably Ant-Man in general, was before the MCU film. A lot of comics people did.
If they
but-
watch the cartoons.
Oh, that's a good point.
Next up, another really, really good DC Showcase presents the new Doom Patrol. This was late 70s, mid 70s. So this is after the Doom Patrol died in the original series. This is the new Doom Patrol.
Yeah, didn't they sacrifice themselves to save like 12 people? Isn't that what it was?
They sacrifice themselves. I don't know how many people they saved.
I don't know who. I don't know who those characters are.
I
It's the new Doom.
I recognize Negative Woman
Yeah.
and Robot Man, but that's really it.
I've got that at a 7 for $20. This, if you are a fan of Peter Parker's black suit, Spectacular Spider-Man number 90 has a black suit cameo in one frame towards the end of the book. And this is in excellent shape. It's a 9. I've got it for $50.
Yeah, this is one of 3 books that came out the same week, right?
I think they did that a few weeks in a row. There's the ones that he's on the covers, like all on the same
Gotcha.
day, and then like his cameo appearances all on the same day. I think. I forget. It's like with anything Spider-Man. It's very convoluted. This is very cool. Marvel premiere number 49. Falcon's first solo story.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Yes, this is only going to go up in value. Got that at an 8 for $20. And this is also very cool. This is
Yeah.
I haven't read this, but I want to so bad. It's Marvel Premiere featuring Black Panther. 3-issue story arc. And this is the great one. T'Challa battles the Klan.
Oh, that's great.
So good.
Do you know who the writer on this is?
I do not.
Okay.
And then there's the Rage of the Soul Strangler. They want to remind you that it's Marvel's #1 black superhero. Because 2 issues ago you had Falcon, and he's number 2.
Yeah.
Everybody, are you guys all asleep?
Roses.
All right. These are all 8s and 9s. Great shape. $60 for all 3 of them.
Yeah, I like these covers. I think they're very
Yeah.
the colors on them.
They're
in particular.
evocative.
Yes, evocative is a very good word for that.
Prepping for another Marvel show coming up. We've got Vote Loki #1. This is the fried pie variant. Is that a store and a company?
I guess so.
It's the Stephanie Hans variant.
Yeah.
$10. This is still polybagged. So by the looks of it, it's in great shape, but I didn't open the poly bag. I'm not CGC. I'm not going to open your bags up.
Yeah, I am very excited for the show, and I've heard Vote Loki is very good, but I have not had the opportunity to read it.
It's definitely one of the more popular recent Loki series. And what we've got.
Apparently, fried pie just needs some variant covers.
Well, we got another one here. Deadpool: The Mercs for Money, #1. This is a variant by Riley Brown. And you got Cowboy Deadpool.
Tiffany says she wants Loki.
Alrighty. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, Tiffany.
That's cool. Always love a big sack of money with a $sign on it.
That's how I carry it all.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I do the bank drops.
Yeah.
Big sacks of money.
I'm gonna draw a big $sign on the bag I carry around. My satchel. All right. This I'm gonna have to open this up because there's a whole slew of people on this book.
Yeah.
This is the 200th issue of Justice League of America. It's got a fantastic George Perez wraparound cover.
What is it with George Perez and doing 200th issues of teen books?
He's a legend for
He
a
did
reason.
Justice League and Avengers.
What's that?
I don't know how good this story is, but that
There's
Avengers
the
one
wraparound.
is probably one of the worst Avengers stories of all
Look at
time.
this list of people. Jim Aparo, Terry Austin, Brian Boland, Brett Breeding, I don't know that guy too well, Pat Broderick, Jerry Conway, Frank Giacomo, I don't know how to say that name, Dick Giordano, Carmine Infantino, Gil Kane of all people, Joe Kubert, George Perez, all contributing to this wonderful book.
I'm assuming Jerry Conway was on writing,
You
I
can
don't-
assume away.
because I don't think he's an artist.
I think you are correct. So we've got that wonderful comic there for $15. You're rated at an 8. And we've got another anniversary book right here. Iron Man #100.
Are you teasing them?
No, I think I'm catching everybody else's sleepiness.
This is a fun cover. Just sort of him breaking out of the
Mhm.
100.
He's breaking a pillar,
Yeah,
an iron
Oh.
pillar.
yeah.
They don't make
But
them-
on
Steel, it's probably steel.
Yeah, they don't make them out of iron. I've got that at an 8.5 for $32.
Girder.
Girder.
Any significance other than 100th issue?
He's not a bender.
Any significance other than 100th issue, or is it just as far
Just
as we
100
know?
issue.
Okay,
Yeah.
still very awesome.
A little down the line, we've got issue 125. Now this is some good stuff here. It's the first cover with Rhodes on it.
Nice.
Sweet.
It is the fourth Scott Lang. We got a lot of Scott Lang tonight, right there. And it is issue 6 of the Demon in a Bottle story arc.
Oh, that's a heavy one.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Tony Stark gives up being Iron Man because he's drunk.
Yes.
And Jim Rhodes takes over.
That's why I gave up being Iron Man too.
That's why I gave up being Spartacus.
I've got this graded at a 7. Overall, it's in really great shape. The top corner here has a little fold to it. Otherwise, it's spectacular. I really love Tony Stark's look, his James Bondian look with the big hair. Love it.
Yeah. That's how secret
Mhm.
agents dress.
I know. Yeah, we've got another series here. A nice little bundle of books.
A bundle of joy.
We've got Deadpool's first miniseries, written by Mark Waid.
Ching.
Mark Waid's first writing job for Marvel.
See, I don't know why, but that surprises me. I never would have pegged that Mark Waid was like the first person to do a miniseries on Deadpool.
Well, he was also hated working on Deadpool because it scarred him,
Oh,
like emotionally.
Really?
that
Yeah.
sucks.
He couldn't relate to the character, but he did his best to, and like he ended up like because he's a pretty jolly dude, like and like this is more of a darker.
Yeah, this is the more Liefeld
Yeah,
Deadpool.
this is action and violence. In case this cover didn't say it all.
That is Tom. What's his name? It's,
Black Tom Cassidy.
Yep.
Issue 1, 2, and 4 are 9s. Issue 3 is an 8, and we get all 4 of those for $50. Does anybody have any questions about any of these books? These beautiful, beautiful books are not in the best of condition. I have dual grading on them because there's 2 things to grade. Book and recording, Superman. I've got the comic aspect of it graded at a 6 and the record graded at a 4. I honestly don't know if any of these records would play. I did not take them home. I should have.
should have.
So I've got that for $10. We've also got a Batman. Got that book part graded at a 4, the record graded at a 3-ish. Pretty great. I do love this era of Joker where he's got that skinny chin.
Yeah, I definitely think it's very evocative is the word
Yeah.
that you were using earlier.
Stop using my words.
You told me that's the right word to use.
I only have so many.
Okay.
Paul comes up with a word to use every week.
There's a Fantastic Four one. Book is a 4, record's a 5.
Huh? So do you use the same like principles of grading records, or is it different? Okay,
It's pretty similar.
that makes sense.
Paul is familiar with grading records.
$15.
Being a phone file.
My record collection recently, because I have that app, the Discogs app, where you catalog your books and like they have like the latest like sale prices on them. Like my record collection just hit the $18,000 mark at the best
Understood.
prices.
Okay.
So I possibly have 18 grand sitting in my
Where do
living
you think it's probably about?
room. That's probably more in like the 12 grand.
Okay.
Because like certainly like a lot of my old Elvis Costello records I picked up at Goodwill and they're like all beat up. But
Fair.
I mean the records are fine, but like the sleeves are beat up. some of my old Tom Waits are all beat up, but still some of them are still in beat up condition, are still really good. All right. What time is it? How much more time we got tonight?
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we ran through these books.
Man. Well, I do have a couple surprises back here.
Oh yeah.
If you are fans of The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Let's go chronologically here. Okay. Recently, we just acquired a couple of graded Walking Dead books from the CGC. Got issue 92. I'm going to take it out of the bag. 92 at a 9.2.
Ooh.
That is the first full appearance of Jesus.
From the series, not from
Oh,
like
not biblical
the-
Jesus. I thought
biblical.
I
Yeah,
thought
you never
biblical
know.
Jesus. So that
Is his name said Jesus in Walking Dead, or is it Jesus?
It's Jesus.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I haven't seen a lot or read a lot.
So this is issue 92 at a 9.2 for $30.
It's pretty cheap because
That
to
is-
get it graded, it would
it's-
cost you $20.
And then we've got issue 150 at a 9.6. That is a nice high grade. We've got that at $25, man. We will have more graded books in the future. We're going to have much more expensive graded books in the future.
Yes.
These were ones that just kind of fell into our lap this past week, and we're not going to complain about it.
Nope.
They're definitely cool.
If no one picks them up tonight or Saturday during our Saturday show at 11 o'clock in the morning, they'll probably end up in our case here.
Yep.
Anybody have any more questions?
I'm surprised nobody picked up those records. Those are gonna fly.
I should take them home tonight and
Yeah.
listen to them.
Yeah, definitely. You should record them so that we can listen to them.
Man, modern record players have outputs where you can copy them digitally.
You don't have a modern record player.
I do, but then I'd have to move a lot of stuff because my computer is not near my record player.
I still want to listen to the Star Trek one at some point. Because Planet of the Dinosaurs just sounds so much fun.
There's a movie called Planet of the Dinosaurs.
Really?
It's not fun.
Oh,
It's terrible.
sorry to hear that.
Well, the problem with those old Star Trek comics, well, I don't know if the record.
What's the problem with a lot of them?
The old Star Trek comics, like they were done by artists in Italy, and they had no idea what Star Trek was,
Oh,
and so they were just like drawing whatever space fantasy.
The
came to
the
mind.
gold key ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, that's fun.
They have great covers.
Yeah,
Anthony's going to take the 2 Iron Man.
the stories are pretty fun.
Thank you, Anthony. I've never read any of them. I'm not a huge Star Trek person, but I love the original series. I kind of watched Next Generation here and there when my mom was watching it when I was a kid.
I prefer DS9 myself.
I remember liking DS9. I like the concept of it being like a space station.
Yeah, I
I hear
like
it
it.
got weird towards the end.
It
with,
got
like,
weird, but in a good way.
Like gods and like ethereal beings. And
Yeah, but those were
weird
there.
stuff.
Those were there from the beginning. They just become a little more
Spiritual.
concrete.
It
Like
doesn't sound ethereal at all.
no, but I mean a little more like actually present instead of just like the basis for religion.
Doesn't what's his name become like a deity or like
Yeah,
a
at the very
prophet
end.
or something? Yeah.
Wonder if our Wednesday crowd would be more interested in like a rack of $2 books or a rack of $1 books, something along those lines.
Yeah, crowd of 2. Let us know.
Well, there used to be more. Anthony, you want cheaper books?
I think Anthony just wants good books.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You do need to go back and watch DS9, Anthony.
Yes, mine was so slow.
Almost like it's a drama.
Yeah, almost like it's serial instead of episodic.
Yeah, but boring.
I
Almost like it was
don't
telling
agree.
a long form story.
yeah, I don't agree with you that it's a little more politics focused and a little more world building focused than say some of the other seasons. But I think that's why it is so strong. It feels like a more cohesive whole. And I'm not saying every episode is perfect because I'd be lying.
That's what I'm hearing.
But I do think that it is more than the sum of its parts, unlike a lot of other Star Trek shows, which I still think are fantastic. But I think they stand on the strength of their strongest episodes, whereas I think DS9 is a little more able to stand as a whole rather than the rest.
Eric, what was your favorite book we looked at this week?
Oh, probably
New Mutants?
New Mutants
Yeah.
number 1.
actually honestly,
18.
yeah, it's 18 because it's the Demon Bear cover and it's just very iconic. But number 1's pretty good too, and number 30 or not 30, sorry, 25. I haven't seen that one in a while, so it was really cool to see it again. Very good cover.
I love the Daredevil 181. That's such a
Yes.
important book at the time.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Yes, that's. I was going to have Rose do the thing like we did with the slap and bring up the image. This is the one where he's got the Electra
Sigh
in the
belly.
yeah.
That's
It's
just
an
a little
iconic
too, that's a
image.
little too sad for our show, though. I think.
I don't.
No, I don't think so either.
But her dying was a very, very big part of
Mhm.
Daredevil's
Growth.
growth as a character. And by bringing her back, which they did just a few issues later,
Mhm.
and Daredevil was involved.
Just like 10 issues later, right?
Yeah. So
It kind of negates that growth and
right.
minimizes.
Right. But like Captain
minimalizes it.
America, like Bucky dying was great
Mhm.
because like that always spoke to Captain America as like he couldn't have a partner because he wouldn't,
Right.
Yeah.
responsibility involved, and it always stuck with him that Bucky died because of.
Why doesn't Batman learn that lesson?
And then Rick Jones was Bucky for a while.
Yeah, Rick Jones was Bucky. And he didn't die.
Not a Rick Jones guy.
Like he's such an integral part of early Marvel, but like, what a character! Like, he just shows up everywhere, and he's just there.
Yeah.
It's very rare that he's crucial.
I really enjoy, except in the Kree Skrull War, where he is responsible for stopping the war.
And he's like also he was
Yeah.
tied to Captain Marvel.
Yeah, two
Both
of them.
of them, yeah.
Yeah.
So or two of them.
Yeah, no, he's
right?
he's like a supporting character that just shows up in weird.
My
places.
favorite, one of my favorite running gags is there's an issue in Excalibur where they go to this one world where it's just like all the Marvel characters having a weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's a very weird issue, but Rick Jones is trying to like become everyone's sidekick. He's like, Captain Britain, can I be your? I'm sidekick extraordinaire. Can I be your?
That sounds like a robot chicken sketch.
It does, but it was good.
My favorite Rick Jones is in the Immortal Hulk,
He's pretty good in there, yeah.
and it's so grotesque.
Yeah, you might say that he is the bomb.
It's just the use of Rick Jones in Immortal Hulk is amazing, and it's justifies his 60 years of existence.
Really?
Yeah.
You might say it's abominable.
Wasn't Rick Jones the Blue Hulk or something like that for a while?
I'm not familiar with that. I wouldn't doubt it.
When the Red Hulk came out, like all of a sudden, like, there was a Blue Hulk, and
Red She-Hulk.
right. So that was definitely Jeff Loeb for that.
That's fair.
There are a lot of things to blame Jeff Loeb for.
Yeah, that is true. I think Peter David handled Rick Jones the best though.
Yeah.
Because like he got him. Did you ever read the issue where they're having Rick Jones's bachelor party?
No.
You didn't read that? Okay, so they're having Rick Jones's bachelor party, right? And
Right.
like the Hulk is there, and like, and so they put on a skin flick,
Mhm.
and the girl in the skin flick is the girl that he's about to marry, Marlo.
Nice.
Or Marlo, maybe was her name.
That's funny.
Oh, geez.
And then it turns out that Marlo actually like was intimate with the Gray Hulk at one point. But she was a dancer in like Las Vegas.
I don't like this.
That's hilarious. I mean, that sounds like a 1980s, rip off of the movie Bachelor Party.
It could very well be. I mean, Peter David was cranking out a lot of stories. So.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, Rick Jones.
Rick Jones.
All right, well, we're kind of done.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is anybody else interested in seeing anything up close, or you want to just join us on Saturday? I think it's only Anthony left.
Yeah, everybody but Anthony left.
Anthony, try and wake up on time.
Yes.
Bring Amanda. She's fun.
Yeah, I guess if it's just Anthony, we don't need to remind him that it's 11 o'clock on Saturday. So
Well, we do need to remind.
Evidently.
All right. Well, I guess it's good night.
it is good night. All right.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good one, Anthony.